All right, Facebook, looks like we're live. Thank you, Melissa, for allowing me to use your Mac because as you can tell, I'm not like doing one of these. So hi, Facebook. Again, you can thank Melissa for not having to stare at me doing this on this. Anyway, I'm Elizabeth Struess and I am with Eclair Salon and I also get to travel for Redken. But this time I got to travel to someplace a little different. I got to go to Germany. Specifically, we're in Tudern, and I'm really sorry if anybody actually can say that correctly because that's my American pronunciation of Tudor in Germany. And it's really cool. We're on the border of the Netherlands and Belgium. So far I've gotten to go to 3 countries because I feel like an awesome possum. You're not allowed to tell them they're like 5 minutes away. Um, so on the way over here, I was thinking about, the things that have been happening in my life personally. And if any of you guys are Facebook friends with Chris Struess, my wife, you will see the journey that we've been going through. We have a paralyzed dog recently. And we also happen to have an awesome possum kid who has been handling it like a champ. So just on the flight over, I was thinking about Rory and how much she's been pushing and how much she's been able to really show us a little bit of what it's like to be strong and not whimper. She whines when she wants to go out, I should clarify, which we're all very grateful for. So anyway, just thinking about Rory and the fact that I may or may not have totally left my wife as a single mom with a paralyzed dog. Wife winner right here. Sorry, honey. So yeah, I had 6 hours to think about how did I get here? How amazing is it that I get to spend 10 days with my best friend in Germany? And then as the children were strolling down the aisles because it's a 6.5 hour flight, I realized, no, this isn't luck. I've earned this. Have you ever had that moment of like, holy crap, I get to do this? And then you're like, I earned it. Show some love. Give me some of those little hearts if you've ever felt that moment. It's such a magical moment to be able to take it all in and just realize. And in this case, this is something that I was working for that I never knew I wanted until she said, hey, I think you should come to Germany. And I went, I think I should too. So just kind of thinking about where I came from and how did I land on a plane by myself. I was mildly terrified. Okay, I was enormously terrified. Show me a little love if you've ever flown overseas because it's a really big pond. That's what I kept telling myself. Anyway, so I'm here to see my best friend, Melissa, and thinking about where life was about 15 years ago and how different our lives are now, and realizing that by earning being here, I have lived through hell so many times. A couple times I did myself, a couple times were, you could say, done to me, but I'll get a little bit more on that later. I, in grade school, was very bullied, and I'm pretty open and adamant about that because I think bullying is a huge factor in our schools right now. I also believe it's made me who I am. And in high school, my parents went through a particularly nasty divorce. I don't really need to share details. If you knew me during that time, I was a very emo, angsty, angry teenager. And to get the heck out of a small town, I decided to join the military. I thought my brother went. It was time to serve my country. And that's what I was going to do for the next 20 years until I decided what I wanted to be when I grew up. Boy, I think that might have been the most adultiest decision I've ever made. Anyway, military discharged me shortly after joining, and I didn't know what to do with myself, so I decided to go to beauty school on the whim of a wonderful person that I'm very grateful for that's not on any of my documents. Yeah, I'm going to let that sit right there. No idea who signed me up. And 4 weeks before graduation, I got kicked out. I made some decisions that I shouldn't have, and the woman was right to kick me out because it's what I needed. Then by 24, I became a single mom and divorced. And that was one of the hardest decisions I've ever made in my life, on top of all the other ones I've already described as well. And then fast forward a few more years, and I decided to open a salon. The salon has been the most amazing challenge in my life. So I can't really say it's been hell owning it, but I can say it has changed me more than anything else. From the guests in my chair to the people that work behind the chair with me to what I've learned about life. I actually wrote an email recently to a teacher that I'm not sure that she's my biggest fan, and asked her to dinner to say, hey, I've changed a lot, and these are the things I've learned. Would you be interested? Do you guys feel like you change at all? Do you ever have that time that you're like, holy crap, I don't know who that person was? I kind of want to smack them around a little bit. I could use, never mind. I won't talk about how many times I've thought about smacking the previous me. And Melissa's been really good on this trip about reminding me that I've always had a heart. I've always had a passion, and I've always loved people. So if you're just joining me again, I'm Elizabeth Struess. Share this with somebody that needs some passion. Share this with somebody that doesn't know what it's like to have to try to climb out of something that they don't even realize they're miserable in. Reach out to somebody that knows they're living through hell and has no idea up, because maybe this is their answer. So these are just the things that I'm going to go through, just a short snippet about what I've learned that has pulled me out of the depths of despair. And by despair, I mean, I have seen sides of the world that no one should see. I've seen the sides of humanity that no one should be aware exist. And one of the things I'm fascinated about here in Germany is that there's one language that is universal. There's one thing that doesn't change no matter what language you're speaking. It's amazing. People smile at you here. If you smile at them, they smile at you. I mean, I might look a little funny to them. Actually, Melissa and I were talking that I blend in really well, and I'm starting to get the memo by how many people are talking to me in languages I don't understand. So obviously I don't look like an outsider. Anyway, I digress. What I've learned is that if you are in the middle of something that you don't understand and you need to be able to see up, you need to find a mentor. You need to find somebody that you can talk to and be genuine and that you're willing to listen to. Because if you're not willing to listen to what they have to say, don't waste their breath, but find a mentor. I will never forget sitting at my first summit 4 years ago. Holy crap, that was 4 years ago. Sitting at my first summit, and Luke Hofstettler was talking about how important a mentor was. And I was like, oh, that sounds nice. I'd love to have a mentor. Careful what you ask for. I have some of the most amazing people on my side that are willing to tell me when I'm doing something wrong. They help me come to my own conclusion on how to fix it. They have love in their hearts, which is the most amazing feeling in the world, because how often do you get to walk away from something and be like, pretty sure they just chewed my ass, but it felt great. Find yourself a mentor. If you can't tell where you are right now and all you need is somebody to pull you up, find someone. And if you don't know who that person is, put it in the universe. Because at the point that Luke brought that up at the summit, I had no idea who I could have reached out to. I didn't even know who to ask for help from. Put it in the universe. It will come back. I have like this many. Sometimes I'm not sure that I meant to put that in the universe, but I did. And if you think about it, listen to the people that you admire. Tony Robbins talks about mentors all the time. Oprah, how many times has Oprah mentioned that she couldn't be where she was if she didn't have a group of mentors to help her, cheer her on, and tell her when she was doing things wrong? She's open and adamant about it. And they're some of the top people that we see in our world. They're people that a lot of people look up to. Michael Cole talks about his mentor. I mean, who's your favorite mentor? Show me in the comments who you think the best mentor you've ever had is. I would love to know who they are. So I think that one of the best things a mentor taught me was the difference between a poor mentality and a wealth mentality. I'm not even going to get into money this time. I'm going to go into, Linda, you're welcome. And I enjoy seeing you on here. I've seen you the last couple of times too. Anyway, so with the poor mentality versus wealth mentality, I grew up poor, not really realizing it most of the time. And then at one point I realized how broke I was. This has nothing to do with that. It's not a financial stance. Poor is the little kid that sees the one slice of apple pie, sneaks up to it, grabs it, eats it over in the corner because he doesn't want anybody to know that he's the one that ate it. Now, the reason he did that was because he saw the last piece and didn't think there'd be more. That's the poor mentality. They're going to grab because they don't see that there could be anything else there. There's no registration that there's anything else going on, or faith in the system, or faith in these things. And the world. I use the word universe. You can use God, faith, whatever you want. The wealth mentality says, I see that piece of pie, and you know what? I'm going to leave it for somebody else because I bet there's a whole pie in the oven in the other room. They don't know that for sure. But that's just the difference between wealth and poor, and this fact that, one says, I need all this now, and now this other one says, oh, well, there might be something else out there. So I want to choose the wealth mentality. I want to choose that there's enough for all of us. I want to choose that I can cheer you on no matter what salon you work at, no matter who you are, no matter what your choices are, no matter what your beliefs are. I get to be open to cheering you on because you're a human and you deserve it. That's what wealth mentality is to me, and it has nothing to do with this. Speaking of wealth mentality, one of the things that I realized was, did I lose you guys? Oh, look, I got passionate and then I lost you guys. Oh, there you are. Hi again. Sorry. Amber, I agree. Gary Vee is fantastic. So one of my favorites is Tony Robbins. And one of the things that I loved about his I'm Not Your Guru is realizing that anything that you've been through, you can point at somebody else. I categorize that in the poor mentality too. It's their fault I didn't get this. It's their fault I'm here. My chant in high school was, it's my parents' fault that I have this life. It's my parents' fault that this happened to me. It's my parents' fault that I wound up with a cocaine addict. Oh, wait. Nope, not my parents' fault. That's 100% on me. But here's what I know. Everything I've been through, I can turn around and look back and thank somebody, because I would never be who I am today if I didn't have those people putting me through the things that I've been through. So whether it's their fault or my fault, does it really matter? I get the choice that I get to take on the responsibility, because now I know what I'm going to do with it moving forward. And I think that is what is the most important. So the last thing I'm going to bring up for you guys is something that I have been chewing on all day, and I want to make sure that I leave you guys on this note. So again, share this story with somebody else that needs a little inspiration. And I'm going to read it to you and then show it to you. Those of you guys that are living in hell, what I need you to know right now is that you just need to take one step. I don't care if it's a half an inch. I don't care if it's 1/16 of an inch. I don't care if it's a foot. You take one step. And you don't need to see the light at the end of the tunnel. We have this imagination that we need to see everything that's happening. We need to know, oh, this is where I want to be happy. Because guess what? When I was leaving the military, I had no idea that I'd be a pink-haired girl full of tattoos sitting in Germany. That was never on my registration. Like, okay, maybe the tattoos, but not the rest of it. You don't need to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You need to have faith and have courage that each step will take you closer to the light that is at the end of the tunnel, even if you can't see it. So thanks for spending a little bit of your Monday night or day. I guess it's day for you guys. Thanks for spending a little bit of your Monday with me. Reach out to me if I can ever be helpful to you or guide you in the right direction. And at that, I'm going to let you guys go. Have a great night.